Today, we are discussing a profound structural transformation the U.S. economy is undergoing. This is a new industrial revolution, but unlike the last one, it's not happening beside steam engines, nor is it confined to Silicon Valley server clusters. It's quietly unfolding in the tangible world in the form of robotic arms and sensors. Senior technology analyst Ray recently admitted at a Nashville summit that he sees history repeating itself. This might sound like another technologist's prediction of the future, but Ray has an impressive track record. Back in January 2015 at the Consumer Electronics Show, CUESA in Las Vegas, Ray witnessed NVIDIA demonstrating its self-driving AI technology. While most people saw only the cars, Ray saw the infrastructure supporting autonomous driving. He wrote an article titled, "Don't Be Afraid of the Demo," recommending buying NVIDIA stock, adjusted for a stock split. That investment yielded an astonishing 336-fold return. Ray's warning carries the same weight as his prediction 8 years ago. He believes we are witnessing another infrastructure-level transformation. At the heart of this transformation is robotic automation. The most striking aspect of this transformation lies in its shifting geographical coordinates. The next wave of wealth migration in the United States will not occur in the traditional Silicon Valley. It is rising from the former Rust Belt. Ohio, Texas, North Carolina, and Tennessee. These are no longer declining industrial areas, but are becoming the next generation of towns experiencing automation prosperity, which we call the Robotics Belt. This is not a simple return of industry, but a comprehensive upgrade of industrial infrastructure. American manufacturing and supply chains are now at a historic crossroads. Automation is no longer an option, but a policy necessity. The core driving force behind this transformation is the huge structural gap in the U.S. labor market. Statistics show that millions of job vacancies remain unfilled in the United States. Among them, there are 313,000 job vacancies in manufacturing and 697,000 in healthcare. While the specific number of gaps in agriculture is difficult to obtain directly from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, the persistent labor shortages in these key sectors reflect a long-standing structural problem in the U.S. economy. Investment often begins with a significant imbalance. This imbalance is starkly evident when comparing the deployment of industrial robots in China and the United States. China installed a record 295,000 industrial robots in 2024, accounting for more than half of the global deployment. The United States, however, installed only 34,200 during the same period, almost 1/9 of China's figure. Although the number of robots installed in the U.S. increased by 30% compared to 10 years ago, it decreased by 9% year-on-year in 2024. This huge difference in penetration rate illustrates a core issue. The recovery of U.S. manufacturing capacity cannot rely on manpower. This 9-to-1 penetration gap does not mean that the U.S. does not need robots, but rather that its robot market will experience explosive growth. In the next 5 years, labor shortages make automation the only viable solution to maintain domestic production cost competitiveness. Geopolitical risks, supply chain fragility, and evolving trade policies have collectively driven the resurgence of U.S. manufacturing. In 2024, U.S. manufacturers and foreign investors announced 244,000 jobs related to resurgence in foreign direct investment, the second highest number in history, further demonstrating the trend of rebuilding domestic production capacity. Since 2010, over 2.5 million related jobs have been declared or created. More noteworthy is the structure of the repatriation. 88% of the new jobs are concentrated in high or mid-tech sectors such as computer and electronics, electrical equipment, including electric vehicle batteries and solar power, and transportation equipment. The repatriation is not of low-value added assembly lines, but of future factories requiring extremely high precision and efficiency. ORMHA technology is the infrastructure that makes this repatriation economically viable. The Boston Consulting Group estimated that repatriation could increase costs by 10 to 30% compared to offshore production. By utilizing robots and digital labor for task automation, higher domestic labor costs can be effectively offset. thereby reducing long-term costs and making domestic production economically competitive again globally. Furthermore, policy has acted as a catalyst. Data shows that cases invoking tariff policies as a driving force for repatriation surged by 454% in 2025 compared to 2024. The convergence of policy, risk, and economic forces has created the current repatriation inflection point. Robotics has become a fundamental tool for making domestic production cost competitive again. Let's discuss the application scenarios of robots. Race analysis extends the automation wave to three key areas: factories, farms, and hospitals. First is factories and logistics. Supply chains and logistics are the areas with the most pressing need for automation. Traditionally, the largest customer for industrial robots in the US has been the automotive industry, accounting for 40% of the 34,200 units installed in 2024, but now we are seeing demand spreading to other sectors. For example, robot installations in the food and beverage industry grew by 21% in 2024, with 2,200 units installed. This indicates that the application of robotics is rapidly expanding, no longer limited to traditional heavy industries. Second is farms. The invisible Silicon Valley revolution. Farms are at the surprise frontier of the robotics revolution. The disruptive technologies we see include robots capable of spraying fertilizer with surgical precision, achieving a 96% reduction in chemical usage. Even more exciting is laser weeding technology, capable of killing 100,000 weeds per age, without the need for chemicals. The direct goal of this innovation is to address the high costs in agriculture. According to data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, U.S. farms spent a total of $477.6 billion in 2024. Of this, farmers spent $21.7 billion on agrochemicals and $33.8 billion on fertilizers, lime, and soil conditioners. These chemicals and fertilizers combined total over $55.5 billion. Precision technologies such as laser weeding can significantly reduce these high input costs, which is precisely the potential for annual savings of $45 billion to $50 billion, as Ray points out. Thirdly, Hostas upgraded surgical precision. In the medical field, the robotics revolution focuses on improving precision and efficiency. Cases such as autonomous robots assisting in gallbladder surgery demonstrate the value of medical automation. The global surgical robot market is expanding rapidly, projected to grow from $12.49 billion in 2025 to $45.93 billion in 2034. A compound annual growth rate of approximately 15.62%. North America is the largest contributor to this market, with its growth rate expected to be even higher. This growth reflects the medical community's urgent need to reduce surgical errors, speed up procedures, and improve patient outcomes. The three major areas mentioned above represent the early application scenarios for robots in the future. With this information, investors can make early-stage investments in these areas. In the investment wave of the robotics belt, we should not only focus on companies that manufacture the final robot products, but also adopt a pick and shovel strategy. This means investing in suppliers of core components, software, and infrastructure that any robotics company that ultimately succeeds must rely on. We divide our investment blueprint into three major vertical application, battlegrounds, and two core infrastructure themes. First is the supply chain logistics sector, as supply chain and retail logistics are among the areas with the most pressing need for automation. Core comprehends Symbiotic, ticker symbol ETSWMN. Symbiotic is a company focused on providing highly automated systems for large distribution centers, using artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotic hardware. Their solutions significantly improve warehouse density and sorting efficiency. From a business and growth perspective, Symbiotic's business model aims to dramatically improve supply chain operations. Over the past year, the company has demonstrated outstanding market returns, increasing by 147%. The company's growth lies in actively expanding its customer base and exploring new market segments, including in-store fulfillment, perishable goods supply chains, and high-turnover distribution centers. They continue to invest in artificial intelligence and machine learning, which are seen as key to maintaining a technological competitive edge and driving future revenue growth. Of course, when it comes to investment, risk control cannot be ignored. Symbiotic's main risk is customer concentration, while it has established close partnerships with major retail giants. Over-reliance on a few customers means that changes in major contracts could significantly impact revenue. Therefore, investors need to diversify their portfolios to hedge against this concentration risk. Secondly, here is the agricultural sector, or the driving force behind agricultural automation is the reduction of high input costs. Core Company Deere and Company, ticker symbol DE Pro, traditional agricultural machinery, giants like John Deere are rapidly transforming into agricultural technology platform companies. Deere's competitive advantage lies in its vast installed base and distribution network, enabling it to integrate sensors, software, and automation technologies into existing agricultural equipment to provide a complete precision agriculture solution. From a business and growth perspective, Deere is one of the major players in the global agricultural robotics market. Their core strategy is to enable farmers to achieve precision operations, improve efficiency, and reduce chemical consumption through software and autonomous tractors. This platform-based business model ensures that even new technologies like carbon robotics can be rapidly commercialized through integration with or by existing equipment. Regarding risk control, the agricultural machinery market is inherently cyclical and susceptible to fluctuations. However, the long-term cost savings and efficiency gains brought by automation technologies make it relatively resilient during downturns in the agricultural machinery market, as efficiency investments are a necessity for farmers. Furthermore, in the medical field, investments should focus on companies with high barriers to entry and unique business models. Core Company announced Intuitive Surgical, ticker symbol is ARGIS. Intuitive Surgical is the recognized leader in the surgical robotics market, with its Da Vinci and Ion robotic systems at the forefront of minimally invasive surgery and diagnostics. From a business and growth perspective, Intuitive Surgical's revenue growth is not driven solely by robotic system sales, but rather by growth in the volume of procedures performed. Their business model is a classic razor and blade strategy. After a hospital purchases the Da Vinci system, every surgery requires the use of Intuitive Surgical's proprietary, high-margin consumables and instruments. This model generates highly sticky, predictable recurring revenue. The continued increase in global surgical volume, especially with the launch of next-generation platforms like the Da Vinci 5, ensures the company's leading position in technology and market share. Regarding risk control, while Intuitive Surgical possesses a strong market position, it faces fierce competition from large medical device companies like Medtronic, Johnson & Johnson, and Stryker. These competitors are launching new robotic platforms, attempting to enter the market with differentiation or more competitive pricing. In the robotics arms race, the most stable cash flow often comes from companies that provide the core tools and energy for all players. The first infrastructure is the eyes and brain of the machine vision, and artificial intelligence platforms. Cognex, ticker symbol CG. NDC Cognex is a global leader in machine vision systems, and its technology is key to achieving high-precision automation and quality control. Cognex vision systems are indispensable in neocoding manufacturing, logistics sorting, and automotive assembly. From a business and growth perspective, despite facing capital expenditure challenges from the automotive and neocoding industries in the second quarter of 2025, Cognex achieved 4% revenue growth through continued double-digit growth in logistics and packaging. This demonstrates the breadth and resilience of its business. The company is actively transforming towards software and AI-driven solutions, launching the OneVision Cloud AI platform to make its business model more flexible. Regarding risk control, Cognex business is traditionally cyclical, and its revenue is vulnerable to capital expenditure cuts in its major customer industries, such as consumer electronics and automotive. However, investing in structurally growing areas like AI and logistics helps mitigate the impact of cyclical fluctuations in traditional manufacturing. The second infrastructure is the energy backbone of machine, critical material supply. Core Company Albemarle, ticker symbol Albemarle, is one of the world's largest lithium producers, headquartered in Charlotte. Lithium is a critical energy material for all electric vehicles, energy storage systems, and autonomous mobile machines. From a business and growth perspective, the demand for high-performance batteries will increase significantly with the proliferation of robotics and automation technologies, whether stationary industrial robots or mobile autonomous machines. While Albemarle's primary market is electric vehicles, EVs, The rise of the robotics belt creates a new and substantial source of lithium demand. Investing in this company is essentially a strategic bet on all automated infrastructure, requiring mobile energy for the coming decades. Regarding risk management, the lithium market is subject to fluctuations in commodity prices and global EV demand, resulting in significant price and profit volatility. However, as a key supplier of energy infrastructure, its long-term potential is substantial, effectively complementing the hedging risks of pure robotics hardware. The rise of the robotics belt is the result of a confluence of multiple structural force, labor shortages, supply chain de-risking, and yielding pressures. Automation is no longer a luxury for efficiency gains, but an infrastructure for maintaining domestic production competitiveness. Our investment blueprint emphasized diversification through investments in vertical markets, such as healthcare and agriculture, and cross-industry infrastructure, such as vision and energy. Companies like Intuitive Surgical and Deere, whose businesses are based on irreversible necessities such as demographic shifts and food security, offer greater economic cycle defensiveness than pure general-purpose industrial robot manufacturers. Meanwhile, investing in water sellers like Cognex and Albemarle ensures that regardless of which robotics company ultimately wins the race, investors will benefit from the continued demand for core components and energy. To summarize our early-stage funding map, we favor Cognex in machine vision and AI software, Symbotic, a manufacturing and logistic automation integrator, Intuitive Surgical with its high barrier to entry medical surgical robots, Deere, a precision agriculture platform, and Albemarle in the energy and materials supply chain. This is a long-term revolution that will reshape the economic geography and wealth distribution of the United States. For investors with a long-term vision, now is the best time to position themselves for this irreversible structural opportunity. The above content is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice. Thank you for your attention and support.